Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. Today I want to do kind of a first impression slash review for you. I sat down to play with some new makeup and I came up with this look. I'll insert some pictures so that you can see, so that it's a little bit, you can see better what I've done. But I created this really nice purple smoky eye, big false lashes, full face of makeup. And I used a whole bunch of new products. So I'm going to let this sit for a little while, just go about my business, and then I'm going to get back to you and tell you how they wore and what they were like to put on as well. So the products that we're testing out today, I have 4 of them, 4 brand new products, and then a couple other ones that I want to give you in a review. The first thing is the e.l.f. Poreless Face Primer, the pink one. I also tried out the CoverGirl Ready Set Gorgeous Foundation. And then I used this Quo Back to Basics Modern Smoky palette. It looks like this. I got this for Christmas actually. And then these Ardell Curvy Lashes, which are currently on my eyes, so they're not in here. But they're big and full. So those are the 4 things that I tried out that are new. Just so you know, other things that are on my face, I have got the e.l.f. Hydrating Under Eye Primer under my eyes. I have the Maybelline Age Rewind Concealer covering under my eyes as well. And then I use the Urban Decay Naked Skin to highlight. I don't believe I've used this in a video yet. This is the L'Oreal True Match Lumi Illuminator. This is in C301 Ice. I haven't talked about this before, I don't think, so I'm going to just mention now. I really like it. It's kind of subtle. I did apply it with a damp sponge and I had to work it out quite a bit on my cheekbones. Not as good as anything from Becca, obviously, but good drugstore option. And then on my cheeks, I used an old favorite that I actually just repurchased because I smashed my other one, and that's the Wet n Wild Blush in Pearlescent Pink. This is just an old favorite. It's a really good dupe for the NARS one that everybody is always talking about, and it's very pigmented. I forgot how pigmented it was, and I dipped my brush in it once, and that was enough for both cheeks. So if you're going to buy this, just beware that a stippling brush is probably the way to go to apply it. For brows, I have my Faithful Trio, and I've left the brow gel somewhere, but it's the Maybelline Brow Duo plus the H&M Brow Specialist. I use this on the inside where it's thicker, and then this one on the outside on the tail, just so that my brows look even. And then of course my Maybelline Brow Drama Gel. Then on my lips, I have a combination. I started with the Maybelline matte lipstick. I started with the Maybelline matte lipstick in Daringly Nude, and my lips were kind of dry, so this didn't go on very well, and it was a little bit too peachy for what I wanted, and honestly I didn't end up liking how it looked matte. So on top of it, I put this Mentha shimmer tint from Bath & Body Works, and this is in the shade Pearl Mint. This has like pink and kind of purple reflex glitter in it, and it was really different, really interesting, and I'm really liking the effect. So that's what's on my face. I'm going to get back to you in a little bit with how everything else wears and give you a full first impression of the palette, the foundation, the lashes, and the primer, because all of these are new to me and I just would like to see how they work. Alright guys, so it's been a few hours. I've been wearing this makeup for a while now. I have done absolutely nothing productive. I watched half a season of Futurama, I made dinner, and I washed dishes, so I guess that's productive. And it's getting late now. It's almost 9 o'clock, so let's just talk about how these did. First, I want to talk about this primer. So this is the e.l.f. Poreless Face Primer. This is what I used underneath my makeup, and I have to say, I like it, but I did notice there's been a lot of creasing around my mouth, which is where I struggle with my foundation's creasing, if I'm being honest. But my Maybelline primer, I think it's 100 Blur and Smooth. That one does a really good job of making sure my foundation doesn't crease around my mouth. This one has done a really good job of smoothing out my pores and making my face look smoother. So if you don't have a problem with creasing on your skin normally, you'll probably like this one. Otherwise, I'd go for the Maybelline one. I'm probably going to use this up, but I don't think I'll buy it again. One other thing I do want to say about this is it really smells like tea tree oil, which doesn't bother me that much, and it does go away once it's sat on your skin for a while, but if you don't like the smell of that, you really will not like this. As for the foundation, I was actually super impressed with this. It's sitting on the skin really nicely. It's got fairly decent coverage. It doesn't look cakey, and it hasn't started to break up yet. One thing I have noticed is it oxidized a little bit, and I have the shade 110, which is already a little bit too dark for my skin. So having oxidized, I think this might be better for when I'm a little bit more tanned in the summer rather than right now. But that being said, this is the perfect coverage for me. I tend to prefer sort of medium coverages. This is really nice. I applied it with a damp Miracle Complexion sponge, and I think that helped it go on really nice and smoothly without looking cakey. Yeah, it's looking really good. There's just that little bit of creasing around my mouth that could be fixed with a primer, and that's pretty much it. Yeah, I'm very, very impressed with that. I'm going to talk about the Ardell lashes next because these are fairly quick. I'm really liking them. My only issue is they're a little bit too big for me. I think I'm going to trim the outer corner slightly just so that they don't look so fake. That being said, they're really nice and fluffy and long, and the lashes themselves don't look super fake or cheap. So again, these are the Ardell 411s in black from their Curvy collection, and I would definitely say that these are definitely worth purchasing, especially if your eyes are a little bit larger than mine. I need to trim them down because they're a little too large for my eyes, but if your eyes are larger, they're absolutely perfect just as they are. Okay, let's move on to the Quo Back to Basics Modern Smoky palette. I have a lot of things to say about this one, and I mean, some good, some bad. As far as I can tell thus far, this hasn't creased at all. It hasn't really faded, which is kind of nice. So I'll give it that. The eyeshadow hasn't creased. I did use a really good primer, but sometimes that doesn't matter. And there hasn't been any fading as of yet. And those are both good things in an eyeshadow. That being said, the pigmentation with this palette is just not that good. The payoff is really poor. Like, that's the purple. The black is okay. The gray is patchy and not so hot. So to get this eye look specifically, I used this light, I'm blinding you guys with the mirror. I used this light gray in the crease, this dark purple on the outer 2/3 of the lid, with this white on the inside and under my brow bone, and then this purple with kind of periwinkle glitter right in the center of the eye. The dark purple, as I said, just had such terrible color payoff. It was really, really hard to build it up, even to what I got, and even that's not super in your face. This gray here was okay in the crease. It added a little bit of depth, but again, it just is lacking in color payoff. This white is awesome. Best brow bone highlight I have ever found in my life. Is the palette worth buying just for this color? Absolutely not. And this purple was nice. I applied it with my fingertips, but again, it's just not super pigmented. The only one that I actually thought was decently pigmented was this white one, and the drawback of the white one is that it's kind of powdery. They're all a little bit powdery, they're all lacking in pigmentation, and I found them all a little bit difficult to blend, especially this darker purple here. It took a lot of blending to get it worked in nicely, and even then I'm not super happy with how it all blended together. I'm gonna have to say, take a pass on this palette, and quite honestly, I find a lot of the same problems in this palette with other Quo palettes. So I would just say skip Quo altogether. You can find way better eyeshadows at the drugstore. H&M is amazing, L'Oreal is good, but this one was just kind of meh. So that's my face full of first impressions. I'm sorry that I didn't film the whole tutorial part of this for you. I wasn't actually planning on doing this. It just turned out so nicely, and I used so many new products that I thought it would be a good idea to kind of give you a review of what I did use. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe, maybe comment down below. Let me know if there's any products you would like to see a first impression of. And I will leave a link to my blog as well in the description box so that you can go check out what I put on over there. I will see you next week with a new video, and thank you for watching. Mwah!